osteons. There's the compact bone, and that is mainly along the diaphysis, the long part of bones, and inside of them there are the osteons. So through that compact bone there goes the central channel through it, or central channels, multiple, they're going through it, and then around all these central channels there's been a hardened calcified matrix thing called concentric lamellae. And inside of this concentric lamellae there are small spaces, and they are called lacunae. And then inside of these lacunae there are the osteocytes, and they're having, in the illustration on that in the book, 6 arms to the sides, and these 6 arms to the sides, they are canaliculi called to the sides, and these osteocytes are reaching in finger-like processes then to other osteocytes and also to the central channels. Now we're having a little story how to remember it maybe. We're having the story, there's a big compact bone, just the big country, and through it go the big streets, the central channels, and then along these big streets there are then the villages and towns called lamellae or concentric lamellae, and inside of these concentric lamellae there are many little houses, the lacuna houses, and inside of the lacuna houses there are living the osteocytes. We imagine them as kroken or octopuses with 6 arms, and these octopuses, these osteocytes, then living inside of the lacuna, reaching out to other osteocytes, other kroken and other houses, and also to the central channel. And that is according to Gerard and Sinner-Grabowski's Principles of Anatomy and Physiology book on the page 163 and 164, but this is no substitute for medical knowledge. Hi and welcome. I am trying to learn anatomy, today osteons, and after we've done that, we're gonna do tiptoe yoga. And if you participate in the tiptoe yoga, then it's at your own risk. And we're doing that big chapter in osteology, and we have read it already 2 times, I think. And we're doing each of these little one here also in osteology as a singular chapter. And in the chapter about the osteocytes, there's mentioned that these osteocytes are the one in the center of these osteons. And so we're going to do one separate part, a part of osteology, the big one and the small part, just about the osteons. What is the anatomy of it? So, and we already went through it 2 or 3 times, and we have so far. So the idea is that they have a little, whatever it's called, a little picture. There are inside of a compact bone. So there's the big bone, and then there is the long diaphysis, the long part of the bone, and then the compact bone is the thing at the outside. The big compact bone, in the center is the medullary cavity, and then again compact bone. And through that compact bone, they are going these central canals through, and these central canals, they are like big streets, and and around them, they are the towns of the villages. And these towns and villages, they are called lamellae. So they're inside of a compact bone, there are central channels, blood vessels, and around them are the lamellae. That is the name of a village or a town, lamellae. And then all these villages, they have houses, and they are called lacunae. So there is the central canal inside the compact bone, the big village lamellae around it, and then many little lacunae. And in all these lacunae, these are the houses, they are living the osteocytes, like kroken. So I say they are like these animals, or these octopuses, these things with the 8 arms. Here in the book they have 5, so these are krokens with 5 arms. So inside of along these central canals, there are the villages laminae. There are then all these little houses and lacunae, and inside of a little lacunae are living the osteocytes, these kroken with his 5 arms. And all these kroken are having their arms out through little canal to the outside, connecting them with canaliculi. And because kroken are water animals, they are filled with some type of fluid. Extracellular fluid or something. So inside of the canaliculi, they are there with their arms, with 5 arms, and they are there with their arms inside of a this extracellular fluid or something. And they are sometimes, and they are not just there, they are reaching also to other osteocytes, other kroken with their arms, and also to the big central channel. Now, and if I understood it correctly, that is the whole anatomy of an osteon. And now we're going to read the part here again and look if our picture is fit. Compact bone tissue. Compact bone tissue contains a few spaces between its hard compounds. It forms the external layer of all bones and makes up the bulk of the diaphysis of long bones. It is actually the external layer of all bones. Would be such an osteon also in other shape? We're going to stay with that. Compact bone tissues provides protection and support and resists the stresses produced by weight and movement. But we're just here for the osteons. Compact bone tissue is arranged in units called osteons, or Havesian system. Blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and nerves from the periosteum penetrate the compact bone through perforating Waldmann's canals. Notes of our house. The vessels and nerves of the performing canals connect with those of the medullary cavity, periosteum, and central canals. So that would be part of a bigger anatomy. These vessels going then through the perforating Waldmann canals from the periosteum at the outside of a compact bone, then through the perforating vessels through these blood, nerve, and lymphatic vessels, and connecting them with the vessels of the inside medullary cavity of a bone and of a periosteum and with the central Havesian canals. Maybe. The central canals run longitudinal through the bone. Now, and if you take that graph, they actually mean they are running longitudinal through the bone. Here we're having the perforating Waldmann canal going through it to that central canal and also connecting them to the medullary cavities, lymphatic and blood vessel canals. Lymphatic, blood, and nerve. Okay, these central canals are connected. These central canals are going longitudinal through the bone. As I said, the big street through the compact bone. And around the canals are concentric lamellae. Do we have to say concentric? Concentric lamellae. We have lamellae around them. Around the streets are the villages of the little towns called lamellae, or concentric lamellae. These are rings of hard calcified matrix. Maybe you can add it. Which are out of hard calcified matrix. Between the lamellae are small spaces called lacunae. So inside of a hard calcified matrix concentrated lamellae, the region, we have little houses, the lacunae. Small spaces called lacunae. Little lakes, doesn't mean little lake, but we're saying small house, which contain osteocytes, and in them they are living the osteocytes. Radiating in all directions from the lacuna are tiny canaliculi. Now we're having a 5, and you know what? I can't count, these are 6. They have 6 arms to the sides on this graph here. So we're having on the graph here 6 arms. These are octopuses with 6 arms through the canaliculi. And they are filled with extracellular fluid. Okay, these octopuses live in water, extracellular fluid. Inside the canaliculi are slender finger-like processes of osteocytes. So as I said, the osteocytes having finger-like processes inside the canaliculi. The canaliculi connect lacunae with one another, so they're reaching to another kraken sitting in its lacuna, the osteocyte going through the canaliculi with its arms to the other one. So connecting to other osteocytes and with the central canal, and also big to the central canal. This intricate branching network provides many routes for blood-borne nutrients and oxygen to diffuse through fluid to the osteocytes and for wastes to diffuse back to the blood vessels. We are not here for the rest. We just want to have the anatomy. So I'm just going to try to, do we say anything? Nothing. I think about saying it twice. Let's try to say it actually twice. Osteons. There's the compact bone, and that is mainly along the diaphysis, the long part of bones, and inside of them there are the osteons. So through that compact bone there goes the central channel through it, or central channels, multiple, they're going through it, and then around all these central channels there's been a hardened calcified matrix thing called concentric lamellae. And inside of this concentric lamellae there are small spaces, and they are called lacunae. And then inside of these lacunae there are the osteocytes. And they're having, in the illustration on that in the book, 6 arms to the sides, and these 6 arms to the sides, they are canaliculi called to the sides, and these osteocytes are reaching in finger-like processes then to other osteocytes and also to the central channels. Now we're having a little story how to remember it maybe. We're having the story, there's the big compact bone, just the big country, and through it going the big streets, these central channels, and then along these big streets there are then the villages and towns called lamellae or concentric lamellae, and inside of these concentric lamellae there are many little houses, the lacuna houses, and inside of the lacuna houses they are living the osteocytes. We imagine them as kraken or octopuses with 6 arms, and these octopuses, these osteocytes, are living inside of the lacuna, reaching out to other osteocytes, other kraken and other houses, and also to the central channel. And that is according to Geratogas and Sinagabowski's Principles of Anatomy and Physiology book on the page 163 and 164, but this is no substitute for medical knowledge. Okay, that was the anatomy part. If you were here for anatomy, you can go directly to the next part of anatomy, where we will continue with anatomy, or you can go also to osteology, where we're going to do when the osteocytes presentation, and later on also in a video about the compact bone. If you stay here and participate in the tiptoe yoga, when it's at the arm risk. Have your feet standing together, breathe in, arms up and come up on the tiptoes, out and down, come always with the weight to the big toes, in and up, out and down, in and up, out to the side, in and up, out to the other side, in and up, out to the side, make an inch of space between the feet, in and up, out to the other side. In and up, out to the side, in and up, out and sink down a bit, in and up, out to one side, in and up, out and down, in and up, out lean onto the knees. You can go with the heels down if you want to, in, and out make a hill with the back, in middle, and out make a belly with the back. In middle, and out the belly with the back. In middle, out the belly. In middle, out the round back. In middle, out the belly. Middle, and out comes the round back up at the top of the back with shoulder round. Heels down. In the arms up on the tiptoes, and out and sink down. This can go onto the knees. In the belly. Hands and heels down. One foot points to the outside, the other one to the other side. The heels are standing on the line in the arms up. And without bend the front leg and come up on the tiptoes with the front leg. Breathe in, reach in front, out and back. Breathe in and straighten the front leg, out and down. Change the position of the feet, in the arms up. Out, bend the front leg, come up onto the toes. In, reach in front, out, lean back. Breathe in and straighten the front leg, out, back. The legs are standing a bit apart. Breathe in and the arms up. Breathe out and sink down. Come up on the tiptoes and breathe in and push something imaginary heavy up. Out and down. In and up. Out and down. In and up. Out and down. And one last time, the ending. In and up. Out, hands and heels down. Feet together. Breathe in the arms up on the tiptoes. And out and down, heels down. Bend the right knee and stretch the left leg. Change. And stretch the right one. Both legs straight, both at the same time stretching. Open the feet to the side, but keep on staying down. Breathe in. And out, go over to one foot. Breathe in. Out and go over to the other leg. Again in. Out into the middle. Close the feet. Breathe again in. And out. Again in. And out comes slowly with the round back up at the top of the back with shoulder out. Breathe in the arms up. And out, lower them down. That was the tiptoe yoga. I thank you very much and until next time.